Hello, Yu-Gi-Oh players, and welcome to Yu-Gi-Oh! Business Casual. I'm your host, the RJB0. So while everybody is talking about the new Lightsworn and Girgia and Gravekeeper, etc. support coming out of the sets around Legacy of the Valiant, I have discovered that Legacy of the Valiant is coming out with a new archetype that is potentially insanity. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have played Legendary. It's an absolutely fabulous deck building game from Marvel. What this deck reminds me of, or this archetype reminds me of, is the Spider-Man cards from Legendary. Now, what the Spider-Man cards did was they were all cards, pretty much all of them, were cards that cost 2 or less. In fact, I'm pretty sure they all cost 2 in order to put them in your deck. And all of their effects literally say when you play them, you reveal the top card from your deck, and if it's a monster, or if it's a card with a cost of 2 or less, then you can just add it to your hand. So you could just keep playing Spider-Man cards and just keep revealing them off the top of your deck and just keep gaining ridiculous amounts. This is what this deck reminds me of. Now, the basic effect that they all seem to have is that they have the ability, by various triggers or ignition effects, to reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a plant-type monster, you can send it to the graveyard and draw a card. So this could get potentially crazy. The reason being, well, what do we think that plants like the most? They like being in the graveyard. They like getting sent to the graveyard. Case in point, things like Spore and Glow-Up Bulb, and of course Dandelion, and all of the various things that have the ability to resurrect plants from the graveyard. It's just something that they do. So if you're going to be sending a ton of plants to the graveyard, you're also going to get to be drawing cards. That's pretty spectacular. Now, we only know about 2 of the cards right now, and one of them seems alright. It's Shinra no Senju Regia. The name of this archetype is Shinra, it appears. And it's a level 8 plant with 2718, and its ability is once per turn you can reveal the top card of your deck, and if that card is a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard and draw a card. So this seems to be the basic effect of all of these cards. And if it isn't a plant type, you just place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card is revealed from the deck and sent to the graveyard, you can look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck, and then return them to the top of the deck in any order. Now, there are a couple of reasons why this card is really cool. It's got that effect that allows you to reveal cards from the top of your deck, and if they're plant-type monsters, you draw a card. Then, if it is revealed from the top of the deck and then sent to the graveyard, then you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then arrange them. And this is done totally for free, seeing as all the other cards in the archetype appear to have that other ability to reveal the top card of the deck. If it's a plant type, discard it and draw a card. So if you use that effect to discard this card, you draw a card for free, and then you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck and then put them back in any order. So this card could get pretty amazing. The only issue I have with it is that it's level 8 and it's only got 2,700 attack points and doesn't have its own way of special summoning it. But other than that, this card could be potentially pretty spectacular. The next, we have the card that I think is the most ridiculous card coming out of Legacy of the Valiant so far. This card could be potentially game-breaking. This is Shina no Mibari Peas, and its ability is when this card is normal or special summoned, you can reveal the top card of your deck, and if it was a plant-type monster, send it to the graveyard and draw 1 card. Otherwise, place it on the bottom of your deck. If this card was revealed from the deck and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 level 4 or lower plant-type monster in your graveyard, special summon that target. You can only use this effect of Shinra no Mibari Peas once per turn. So what you can do is, if this card is revealed from the top of your deck by another Shinra monster, you can send it to the graveyard, and then, of course, draw the card, and then you can special summon it and do the whole thing again. So it's basically an inherent +2 if it's revealed and discarded by a Shinra monster. And when it's normal summoned, it basically allows you that free draw and a plant-type monster in your graveyard. That could be another Shinra card. Now, these are the only 2 cards that they have out. But based on these 2 cards, this deck could get crazy. If all the other cards have similar effects, if you do this like plant mash thing, there are just tons of ways that this deck could get crazy. And the thing about this deck is, if it the cards that could be potentially dead are all going to the bottom of your deck when you reveal them. So if you you know are going to reveal a card that you don't want, which is you know probably going to be highly unlikely because you're not going to be running a whole lot of spell and trap cards or non-plant monsters. You're going to put it back on the bottom of the deck, and a lot of these cards are cards that you can search out from your deck anyway. So Shinra is pretty spectacular. I'll get to the rest of the cards that are coming out in the OCG in a little while. Meanwhile, I'm just going to keep uploading those Shadow Specters reviews, and I hope that you guys realize the crazy game-breaking potential. That's the dog I'm taking care of. I have to deal with this at night. Anyway, I hope you guys realize the game-breaking potential of this deck. Meanwhile, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you didn't, let me know why in the description below. And talk to me about Shinra. How crazy can this deck get? Alright, so you guys go ahead, subscribe to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Business Casual if you want more videos like this. And thank you guys for watching Yu-Gi-Oh! And Business Casual. I'm your host, the RJB0, and I got a jet. See you guys.